As is your tradition, I invite you to stand for the reading of the gospel from the book of Romans, the epistle of Romans, chapter 8, selected verses. Hear a word from the Lord. What then are we to say about these things? If God is for us, who is against us? He who did not withhold his own son, but gave him up for all of us, will he not with him also give us everything else? Who will bring charge against God's elect? It is God who justifies. Who is to condemn? It is Christ Jesus who died, yes, who was raised, who is at the right hand of God, who indeed intercedes for us. Who will separate us from the love of Christ? Will hardship, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? No. In all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, nor angels nor rulers, nor things present nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor anything else in all of creation will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord. This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. Amen.
Should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be so lonely and long forever and whole when Jesus is my portion? A constant friend resting on His goodness, I lose all my doubts and my fears. Though by the path He leadeth, but one step I may see, but I know His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. Yes, sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches. Yes, I know He watches. I know He watches me.
His eye is on the sparrow. So I know that He watches you and me. Thank you so much. Giving honor to God, dear friends, who is the head of my life. I bring you greetings from Plymouth Church, United Church of Christ, in downtown Seattle, of which I am the lead pastor. I also honor this great church, Mount Zion Baptist Church, which is a pillar upon which this entire city stands. And I thank you for your kind invitation to be a part of this homegoing for Deacon Mason. To the family, to Dawn Mason, to Deacon Mason, who invited me into his life. Near the end, but with enough time to fall in love with him. I am deeply honored to stand here today. And I am grateful to be extended the hospitality to be the eulogist today. Though the eulogy has already gone forward 3 or 4 times. So I will follow my grandmother, Dorothy Mae Price, who said, "It don't take God long to do nothing." So don't worry, folks, especially folks who are less melanated. I'm not going to keep you here too long. I know what that's about. Amen. And amen. I also would like to give the regards of Bishop Manaway, who had to step away. His church is in convention today. And so he wanted to give his regards and was sorry that he had to leave early. Let us pray. Spirit of the living God, fall fresh on me. Spirit of the living God, fall fresh on me. Well, break me, then melt me, then mold me, and use me. Spirit of the living God, fall fresh on me. Yeah, fall fresh on me. Amen. Oh, friends, they say that a good man is hard to find. And though I am single and can say that I've said that too, I want to tell you today that after meeting Joe Mason, I know that folks are lying. They say a good man is hard to find, but I want to tell you that in Joe Mason, there was a good man. And he walked this earth and he proved all the naysayers wrong. He was tall and gifted and black, and he towered in this world in the way that God intended, with courage and with grace. He didn't always show up the way we wanted him to, but my God, he showed up, as we can see in these first 3 or so rows. He was a steady, a faithful, a loving, a kind, a compassionate man who taught us and models this day how to live in God. So we are here today to celebrate and honor his beautiful life. To say that his black life mattered way before we coined the phrase. To say that his life mattered to God even though it didn't occur to America. A country that still needs to catch up. That Black Lives Matter. And I dare say on this MLK weekend, it is right and fitting and proper that we honor Joe Mason. For he participated and won the struggle and challenge of black people in this country. And he held the sign in his heart that he most certainly was a man. He stood up when folk told him that he was only worth sitting down. And he was a good husband and a good father and a daddy and a provider and strong and brave and beautiful and courageous. He was a man. And he was brave because he found God and he learned how to build a life. He was brave because he didn't wait for permission to receive what we still do not receive from this country, but simply built a world with Dawn at his side. He was brave because he lived through heartache, he lived through grief, he lived through loss, but he chose to walk with God anyhow. Brave because even recently, with the crushing blow of losing his namesake, his son, Joseph Jr., and losing a brother, he stayed here, my friends, as long as he possibly could, until he could not. Brave he was and fearless because he knew God and knew God well. He knew God in Jesus Christ in the pardon of his sins. And he knew that God was faithful and just. And even when the doctors told him that he was transitioning and at the end of his life, he knew that God was in the room. And that Jesus was still his doctor, writing all his prescriptions and giving him medicine in the room. God just showed out when God made Joe Mason. And for this, we ought to say thank you, Jesus. For in fact, God was so good at making Joe, he made a twin too. Just showed out, I dare say, his parents beamed with pride until their last day. He was both handsome and skilled as an electrician, as a singer, who knew how to sing for all of us, but knew how to sing folk to heaven. Friends, I have found in my own life that God just walks. God walks among us, and sometimes God just dresses up beautifully in some of us and walks around. We aren't very sure it's God, but God did so in Joe Mason. It may seem usual and mundane, but all of us, but particularly Joe, is a miracle of God. We are not fleshly bodies, my friends, who are having a spiritual experience. But we are spiritual creatures who are dressed up for just a moment in flesh. And God, who is the God of the universe, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and also the end, the creator of all things, just shows up sometimes in the voices, in the heart, in the hands, in the height of people like Joe Mason, in his gentleness, in his generosity, in his loving self. And I'm so glad that God is as close as our breath. And I'm here to tell you that though it was 80 years, it was just a blink of the eye. But we met someone who was unusually gifted and stellar. And for this we say, thank you, hallelujah, for the opportunity to know that we can walk in the footsteps of one such as Joe Mason. As I prepared today, I have been breathing myself because it's difficult to pastor someone at the end. It's difficult to remember how breath becomes shallow, and sometimes you have to cry out in your own spirit, oh death, where is your sting? Though from the time we are born, we know that death is somehow stitched into the fabric of our lives, but still we are knocked off kilter by its exactness, by coming into our view. Death interrupts our best attempts at constant struggle against mortality, and it just jumbles up in our lives like traffic in Seattle. It doesn't ask our permission with its rude self. It just stumbles on in, drunk in our house. And death, my friends, I want to say it is not a punishment, it is a part of life. But death today can be the beginning of true transformation if we allow it to be. For Deacon Mason is showing us, and we are seeing by witnessing his death, that we can be reminded what is at stake if we live this life right for what we are called to do. It's so palpable when we see one such as Joe leave this place. We are here today because we know death. We know that death squeezes onto our couch like a long-lost relative looking for money, but still we have to struggle. We have to struggle with death. We are here because we have to make sense of it all, because we know that we are on Joe's path. And we are here to console the family, but also to help them know that they are called to remember, to memorize everything you went through with your husband, your father, your granddaddy, your godfather. And to remember that everything right now is not okay, but everything is already all right. And that God is able. I'm here to say that though we grieve and though we are mournful, we know that Job knew God most of all. And that in his last days, my friends, he was ready to go. There was no fear in him. Those that witnessed him in his last moments saw that even when he was most certainly in pain, he exuded kindness and hospitality and bravery and graciousness. Amen. When Don said, honey, do you know what's happening? He said, oh, yes. Oh, yes. He left this place, my friends, with a clean heart and a right spirit. And he welcomed me into his life. He didn't know me from a can of paint, except he saw me a couple of times. But he invited me into his life with love and grace, and for this I am forever grateful. Amen. Certainly because his feet were guided by God, and certainly because in his quiet way, he had a whole universe of conversation with God and with his family. It may have been in his heart. You may not have heard it, but I dare say his conversation was never interrupted with you. He was always telling you how much he loved you, always reminding you how much he would keep you even unto death. And I know that Joe and God, they had a thing going on. And I dare say, though he may have been a man of few words, we must not make the mistake to assume that he had nothing to say. I believe Deacon Mason didn't know how to be quiet with God. He was always talking with God. And it's been said otherwise, but he was a theologian and a philosopher, from what I know of our last conversation. He was talking to you, Dawn, when he held your hand, when he walked you down the aisle, when he sang love songs to you by way of your baby, Anissa. When he rode the bus day after day and walked up the hill until his retirement, he was talking to you. He was telling a story when the family was taken care of. He was singing to you by raising wise and beautiful and gifted, intelligent children with you. By being steady, as India Irene was saying, with steady love. And I dare say he talked all the time by leaving you with the resources you need. So you don't have to worry this day and beyond. Somebody needs to say glory, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, for him being that kind of man. I dare say he taught you all how not to just survive, but to thrive beyond him. And every smile he gave you, and all of the trips he gave you, and drawing you here to Mount Zion, and singing the songs of Zion in his voice, you can hear God come through. He was giving you grace. And rather than simply being quiet, I contend that in this world that's tore up from the floor up, he was peaceful. I say that he didn't need to compete with anyone's energy, most especially his beloved. So he created a quiet place in his heart so that you could feel the space, Dawn Mason. Oh, my friends, he made it easy like Sunday morning. For all his life, Job lived out his Christian duty and took seriously the call to be deacon. He took seriously the call to be a man in a world that decided he only deserved rough sides of mountains. He made sure that he smoothed ways for you and for me. And I declare, no matter what you believe, no matter what you call the power higher than you, I want you to know that when you call on God, Allah, that God answers no matter what the name is. the song in his heart with every breath. If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can tell somebody they are traveling wrong, then my God, his living has not been in vain. He knew about how to serve because he had the soul of a servant. As a deacon, he ministered through his music, through his prayers, and he knew what it meant to live into the will of God. He made space for his family, and for all of you under the sound of my voice, he made his family a priority and taught them how to be kind to others, even me. And for almost half his life, he empowered Dawn so that she could improve the landscape of this city, this state, and this nation as a public servant. So friends, I want to say Joe died clean. He didn't have trouble with any of us. And I'm saying he did the things that you long, he may not have done the things that you long for, but he died clean. And today I want to say that he still is in our hearts as the strong and the faithful and the steady, the sustainer of family, the good neighbor, the father. He is the voice of power and consolation. And let us remember him as the stellar man that he is. But friends, a eulogy is not talking about his life. A eulogy is truly for the living. And I am saying in a time where we have a vulgar president, time is of the essence. And I am saying, my friends, that we have children's cage on the border, time is of the essence. And so I don't know about you, my friends, but it's time to get right, church, and let's go home. It's time to treat everybody right and to trust in the Lord. It's time to tarry no more and to carry on war no more. It's time to lift people up instead of putting people down. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time to find our way to the mayor's office and tell the truth in the irreverent hearing. It's time to remember that in this great city, as we get richer and richer, there are people getting poorer and poorer. That there are people unhoused and living under bridges, that black folks are still not celebrated or being tolerated and killed by police. It's time. It's time to tell the truth, as I know Joe Mason would do. Now, he was a quiet man, but so it is with God. We need to be quiet so that God can step up in us. Because sometimes when you talk too much, and sometimes when you sing too much, and sometimes when you pray too much, we don't hear the voice of God. So it's time we look to God to tell us the way. How we must walk beside God so that we can be present to the world. It's time for us to be the agents of change, to shout, stop war, stop the killing. Especially when it's about getting certain folks paid. God is waiting for us to believe what we say, church, to take to the streets, to reform our world, to transform our world, to do the acts of faith, to start the revolution, and change this mean old world. I think the good deacon knew who God is. And I think that God is continuing to reveal God's self by way of the Mason family. And I believe that Mason family, now is the time to love and to accept yourself, just as your daddy did. And now it's time to listen to your heart so that you can stand in the footprints that he left for you. And now is the time to remember that God is speaking through all of our lives and that he is not here in the physical realm, but we can still hear him sing, can we not? Amen. And he is singing the songs of Zion. He is not here today, but he can be felt in our hearts and in the presence of his family and in our own spirits. And today God is reminding us that nothing can separate us from the love of God. honored and privileged to meet this gorgeous man. And Don graciously took me in the room and asked Joe if he had questions for me. Because you don't want anybody to just pray over you. And you don't just want anybody eulogizing you. Amen? And so I sat at bedside, touching his hand, and I quietly sat as he asked his question. Who is God? Well, I wanted to give the perfect answer. But because I knew the good deacon was at least 35 years older than me, I contended that he probably knew God better than I. So I resisted my theological and philosophical answers. And I got quiet like him. And I wanted him to hear my answer. And so I said some things, pieces of which Don heard. And then I said, Joe, I just want you to know that God is the one who made you. And before you were a twinkle in your parents' eyes, when you were knit in your mother's womb, as Psalm 139 said, God made you. And God purposed you. And I said that God is the one who kept you through danger seen and unseen in this world. And God is the one who